Sulli-Ween here, and welcome to a new movie review. Well, it all finally comes down to this. It's time to look at the second part of the last story from the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Released 10 years after the first film, it's one that's as perfect as the second film. For me, anyway. It is the grand and well-done finale that is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. With Voldemort having possession of Dumbledore's wand and Dobby killed by Bellatrix's knife, Harry, Ron, and Hermione spend time at Bill and Fleur's cottage, and Harry gains visions of the remaining Horcruxes, with one at Gringotts Bank and the others at Hogwarts, with knowing how to destroy them with either the Sword of Gryffindor or a Basilisk Fang, as its poison harms them. But while finding and destroying the Horcruxes, Hogwarts' new headmaster Snape leaves the school once Harry and McGonagall fight back, and as the other students, professors, and the Order begin to protect Hogwarts, the school gets invaded by Voldemort and the Death Eaters, and all the witches, wizards, and creatures partake in a big battle, and Harry soon discovers the truth of his existence and how Snape fits into it. This is one film that I find to have very little flaws in it, because it does everything right in the first part. All of the action is pretty fun, the acting is rather nice, with a few moments of the characters trying to let all the information sink in like in the book. The effects are pretty good, and some of the backstory of one of the characters is very well handled, and it ties everything together nicely. So in many respects, it's a very good film. Although, there's like one or two nitpicks I have with the film, and I'll have to spoil a little bit of it, even if they are mentioned in the book. One is with the Horcruxes. Voldemort, in the Half-Blood Prince book, split his soul into 7 Horcruxes, with the 7th Horcrux being Voldemort himself. After viewing all these movies, it's like there's an extra Horcrux, which is the same in the book. There's Tom Riddle's diary, Tom Riddle's ring, the locket, the trophy, the Ravenclaw tiara, Nagini the snake, and Voldemort. But the extra Horcrux is Harry Potter, the one Horcrux Voldemort never meant to make. So really, it's 8 Horcruxes, not 7, or 6 as the movies say. And even so, why would Harry make up the King's Cross station like heaven in his mind when really he's not dead? And how did Narcissia know that Harry's still alive? Did she secretly know Harry's a Horcrux? And how did Voldemort not know he made his enemy a Horcrux? I really do think that scar on Harry's head is kind of a dead giveaway if it senses Voldemort's presence and he can slip into the boy's mind. Yet, I kinda miss Harry saying Voldemort's name in this film and to have McGonagall and Dumbledore say it. He's not afraid of the name, so why is he not saying it here? But at least there's a little more focus about the Deathly Hallows, even if there's little focus on it. In Part 1 it's focused more, with the story end of the Elder Wand, which Dumbledore had and Voldemort took. And in this one, it's of the Resurrection Stone, which was hidden inside the snitch. And the Cloak of Invisibility isn't brought up anywhere, but it's so obviously the invisibility cloak introduced in the first film, and in the end, nobody used them together, not even Harry. I mean, he could have easily finished off Voldemort if he knew all this from the start, and the final fight would have been more better than what's present. And yeah, that end of the last fight could have used big cheering music and a celebration. Oh, and Voldemort himself does kind of look creepy with the faces he makes. And speaking of which, and in an interesting thought, the first 3 films and the 6th were rated PG, while the others were rated PG-13, and my sister figured the reason behind this was because of Voldemort getting a PG-13, even though he's very briefly shown in the 6th film and his face is in the first film, and every Potter film is PG or PG-13 in some ways, but my sister's reasoning for it is a bit legit. But with all that said, I really enjoyed this movie. It wraps up everything well, it looks pretty big and even dark, it's great to hear John Williams' music cues, and to witness all the cheerful, grand, and on occasion funny moments, it's all pretty amazing. And the remaining new cast of characters do their job pretty well. Kelly MacDonald plays Helena Ravenclaw, Serena Hines plays Aberforth Dumbledore, Herb Beardshaw plays Arena Dumbledore, Ellie Darcy Alden plays young Lily Potter, Aria Paradise plays young Petunia Dursley, Benedict Clark plays young Severus Snape, Alfie McElwain plays young James Potter, Toby Papworth plays baby Harry Potter, Rohan Gotobed plays young Sirius Black, Nick Moran plays Scabior, Louis Cordyce plays Blaise Zabini, and Arthur Bowen plays Albus Severus Potter. As a whole, this movie is really awesome. The characters are very good, the story is very good, and the effects are fun. For being the second part to the last story from director David Yates, this is one enjoyable and great conclusion to the Harry Potter series, with many epic moments and just about everything timed together, and coming to an end just about right. Despite one or two nitpicks I have of the film, this is most likely my third, or even second favorite in the series, as it's a nicely done finale for all these characters, all the magical moments, and all the wonderful adventures this series brought forth. As it's a nicely done finale for all these characters, all the magical moments, and all the wonderful adventures this series brought forth. And while there's spin-offs and other material that have spawned from the books and movies, the ones that started it all are very much modern classics. There may be a few scenes or moments that I don't get into, but a majority of what works still hold up. I still love these characters, I still get into those fantastic moments, and overall, it's one of my favorite film series. And I was really glad to experience them again. So today, this movie, as well as the whole series, gets the rating of 3.5 stars. So thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook or Twitter, support me on Patreon, and since I finished a film franchise that's really great, it's time to move on to one of my favorite theme monks with a brand new one.
How did this happen? What the?